Access your free language gifts right now before they expire. Here's what you're getting this month. First, the Going to the Mountains Conversation Cheat Sheet. You'll learn all the must-know words and phrases for hiking and camping with this new cheat sheet. Download it for free right now. Second, the Most Common Adjectives PDF ebook. You'll master over 90 common adjectives with this bonus PDF picture ebook. You can download and review it on any device. Third, what's your New Year's resolution? With this bonus phrase list, you'll learn to say common goals like read more, save money, and learn a language. Fourth, the Winter Words and Phrases Writing Workbook. You'll learn over 60 words and phrases for the winter and holiday season and practice writing them with this printable PDF writing workbook. Download it for free right now. Fifth, must-know email words and phrases. Learn how to say email, reply, spam, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Sixth, looking for a new language learning app? With the Innovative 101 app, you learn language fast and start speaking in minutes because the audio and video lessons are just 3 to 15 minutes long. Learning is that easy. Download Innovative 101 for free for the Android, iPhone, and iPad. And finally, the deal of the month. If you want to finally master the language with lessons by real teachers and our complete language learning program, get 55% off 24-month premium with our extended holiday deal. To get your gifts and language learning resources, click the link in the description below. Download them right now before they expire. Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to learn a language in 2022. If you're planning to learn a language in 2022, then this episode is for you, especially if you want to finally succeed with your New Year's resolution, instead of failing or giving up in the next week or two. That's why today you'll discover 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language, and 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. How to learn a language in 2022. Part 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language. Every time you start a new language, you should start with 1. Goals, 2. Anchor points, 3. Grammar, 4. Reading. What are these 4 steps, and why do you need them to succeed with language learning? Let's jump in. The first one is goals. Everything starts with a goal, but your goal itself can also lead you to failure if you don't set it the right way. So more specifically, you need to set small, measurable monthly goals instead of just, I want to learn a language and be fluent this year. We'll cover goals in the second part of this episode, so stay tuned. After goals, the second step is setting anchor points. What are anchor points? Imagine a small ship in the middle of a big lake. It's windy, lots of waves, and the ship is bobbing up and down, drifting all around. What would you use to stop the ship from drifting away? An anchor. And just like an anchor keeps the ship in place, anchor points keep you from drifting away from your language. So an anchor point is a connection to the language that keeps you attached to the language and motivated to learn the language. One great example is language school. Imagine you signed up and paid thousands of dollars up front. Paying that much would motivate you to make the most of your time there. It's also a big commitment, one that you can't easily back out of. And school dictates your schedule. You have to wake up early, you have to do homework. Your life revolves around the classes, and as such, language school and the language itself become anchor points that your life revolves around. Anchor points can also be family or a partner that speaks the language you're learning. You're around them, you're exposed to the language, so your motivation to learn gets a bit stronger. Buying a language learning program or textbook are also examples of good anchor points. You invested your hard-earned money, which means you're serious about learning. Plus, you want to make sure your investment doesn't go to waste, so you're more motivated. If you're wondering if you have any anchor points, you already have at least one. You're watching our lessons on YouTube. But the more anchor points you have, the stronger your motivation will be. So if you're into music or TV shows in your target language, those can serve as anchor points too. These are things that connect you to the language and add a bit of motivation to learn more, or at the very least, understand what you're watching or listening to. We covered goals and anchor points. What's next? The third step is you must have a good grasp of grammar of your native language. Now, you might wonder, if you're learning a new language, why focus on your native language? Well, as native speakers, the problem is we know what good grammar sounds like, but we can't explain how or why our language works the way it works. So if you don't have a good grasp of grammar, the backbone or the rules of a language, then you'll have a tough time learning a new language. You'll jump in and start learning words and phrases, but you'll never learn how to put them together and make sentences. That's a common problem beginners have. Now, if you already know the grammar of your native language, how do you apply that to your target language? For example, if you're an English speaker, and if you know that English sentences follow the subject, verb, object pattern, and if you know that languages have specific sentence patterns, then you'd go look at patterns. Then you'd have a good idea of how to create your own sentences, instead of learning random words first. Finally, the fourth step is reading. Reading is good simply because you can do it anywhere, anytime, and without a teacher. It's a skill you can get started on day one, on your own. Reading also tends to spill over into other areas. The more you read, the more words and grammar rules you come across, so you boost your vocabulary and grammar, which can seep into speaking and listening. If you read out loud, you're practicing two skills at once. Now, we've covered what you need: goals, anchor points, reading, and grammar. Setting anchor points, knowing your own grammar, and reading are simple enough, but how do you set goals that don't lead you to failure? Part 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. The goal that you set can make or break your language learning journey, so setting the right goals makes all the difference between success and failure. Just think about all of the common New Year's resolutions. What comes to mind? Goals like, I want to be fluent someday. I want to speak the language. I want to lose weight. I want to save more money. These big, vague goals often lead to failure because you simply have no idea how to approach the goal and you don't know what you're aiming for. Instead, your goals should be small, measurable, and monthly. For example, speak 1 minute of conversation by the end of the month. Learn 100 words by the end of the month. Finish Chapter 1 of your language textbook by the end of the month. If you're using our program, finish 20 audio lessons by the end of the month. All of these are small and specific. 1 minute, 100 words, 1 chapter, 20 audio lessons. This means that they're easy to reach, unlike something vague like fluency. They're also measurable. You know when you reach 1 minute. You can check if you know all 100 words or if you finished all 20 lessons. If you aim for fluency, you won't know when you hit it. It's too vague and too big of a goal, and it may take years to hit. Finally, all of these goals have a deadline, the end of the month. That would mean January 31st of this year. Deadlines give you a clear date to aim for, and without one, you'll forever be floating around without much progress. So set a deadline for the end of every month. So now that you know how to set small, measurable monthly goals, leave us a comment. What's your small, measurable monthly goal, and what's the deadline? So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to learn a language in pairs. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! You want to learn a language and succeed, right? But where do you start and what do you do? There's grammar, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So much to do and no clear pathway to follow. And it can feel overwhelming, right? But what if you had a clear, step-by-step path of lessons that taught you everything you needed to know and took you from absolute beginner to advanced, and all you had to do was just follow the pathway? Well, you can do just that with our recommended learning pathway. But if you don't yet have access, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description. So, how does our recommended pathway help you learn the language fast? 1. You get a clear starting point. With any goal you have, it's important to know where to start and what steps to take. Otherwise, you quickly get discouraged. So that's where our recommended pathway comes in. The pathway is simply a collection of audio and video lessons to learn with, and assessments that test you on what you've learned in the last few lessons. So you get a clear, step-by-step pathway of lessons laid out for you. Just follow the pathway, complete the lessons, do the assessments, and that's it. You'll find the recommended pathway on your dashboard and in the lesson library. 2. You get lessons that are right for you. When you sign up and set your learning level, whether absolute beginner, intermediate, or advanced, we give you a level-appropriate pathway. There's Level 1 for absolute beginners, meaning you have no experience. Level 2 for beginners with some experience. And all the way to Level 5 for advanced learners. So your learning experience is tailored to you and where you are in your journey. 3. You can level up your language skills. Instead of wondering if you're improving, how? As you're going through the pathway, you're constantly learning with the lessons, and you're constantly getting tested on what you've learned, with our lessons and multiple choice and hand-graded assessments. You'll find the assessments peppered throughout the pathway after every few lessons. And once you're finished with the Level 1 Absolute Beginner path, we give you Beginner, Level 2, then Intermediate, Level 3, and all the way up to Advanced. 4. You can easily stay on track and reach your language goal. Sticking with goals can be hard, especially when you don't see a clear path from where you are to where you want to be. But with the recommended pathways, you get a clear step-by-step pathway of lessons. All the lessons are laid out in front of you. Just do one lesson a day and follow the path until the end. By the end of that pathway, you'll level up your language. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with language learning and if you just want one clear pathway to follow, take advantage of our recommended learning pathway. But if you don't yet have access, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to sign up. Want to learn your target language with our learning program? Wondering which plan to choose? Today, you'll discover how our Premium Plus plan helps you master the language with complete access to our self-learning program, as well as one-on-one access to your own teacher, language assessment, and ongoing assignments. But first, if you don't have access to our language program, sign up for an account right now. Just click the link in the description to get started. Now, how does the Premium Plus plan help you learn a language faster? 1. You get complete access to our self-learning program, which includes audio and video lessons, app access, and over 15 premium study tools, such as My Flashcards, the voice recorder, and line-by-line dialogue breakdowns. So, when you sign up and set your learning level, we give you a pathway of lessons that you can take anywhere, anytime with our app or on your computer, and extra study tools to help you master the lessons and retain the language. But if you're the type of person who learns better with a teacher, or if you just want to get feedback, then you can get just that with the Premium Plus plan. 2. With Premium Plus, you get one-on-one access to your own teacher, whom you can learn from at your own pace, anywhere, anytime, without being bound to the teacher's schedule. So, when you log in, look for the My Teacher Messenger on the site, or access it inside the app. With the My Teacher Messenger, you can interact as much as you want with your teacher and ask language questions, practice writing, and get corrections and feedback. You can even practice your speaking skills. Send recordings of yourself speaking to your teacher for feedback. In fact, one of the first things you'll have to do is write or record a self-introduction. Your teacher will send you corrections and advice on your pronunciation so that you can introduce yourself perfectly. 3. We personalize your learning experience based on your goals and needs. Just like with real language schools, the moment you join, you take an initial assessment test, which covers all areas: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. The goal is to understand your strengths and weaknesses, so your teacher can design a personalized learning plan just for you. 4. You get ongoing assessments and assignments. It's hard to motivate and push yourself to improve when you're learning on your own. It's much easier when you have a teacher to motivate you. So that's why your teacher sends you weekly assignments, which you'll find in the My Teacher Messenger. Inside your recommended learning pathway, you'll also see multiple choice assessments and hand-graded assessments, which test you on the words and grammar rules you've learned in the prior lessons. And the hand-graded assessments are graded by real teachers, so you can get feedback on what you got wrong and how to improve. So, if you want to learn your target language faster with the Premium Plus plan, then click the link in the description right now. If you're learning the language with our lessons, did you know you also get a bonus study tool that lets you 1. Absorb conversations by reading along. 2. Master grammar rules fast. And 3. Review everything without redoing the lesson. You can do this all with the lesson notes inside of our learning program. But if you don't have access to our program, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description. So what are the lesson notes? The lesson notes are simply the written version of our audio and video lessons. Inside, you'll find 1. The dialogue and the translations, 2. The grammar rules for that lesson and the explanations, 3. The lesson's vocabulary in sample sentences, and 4. Cultural insights for that lesson. You'll find the lesson notes in every lesson. You can also download the notes as PDFs and print them out. And there are 3 reasons why this basic study tool makes learning the language super easy. First, you get native conversation and translations in writing. Imagine listening to a conversation in real life. Native speakers speak fast, so you might not understand every single word. But if you have a transcript to follow along with, you can easily pick every word apart and start understanding what the native speakers say. And since you learn a new conversation in every lesson, that's exactly why you get our lesson notes for every lesson, so you can quickly grasp and understand native speech. Second, you can get in-depth grammar explanations and even more examples. One of the best ways to learn grammar is to get used to it through practice and lots of exposure. And with our audio and video lessons, you'll get the grammar rules explained. But if you want the extra exposure, check out the lesson notes for the extra review and even more examples that are not available in the lesson. And 3, you can quickly review what you've learned without retaking a lesson. Again, one of the best ways to pick up a language is through repeated exposure, which means reviewing what you've learned as much as possible. But if you don't want to retake a lesson, then you can quickly review the lesson's dialogue, grammar, and vocabulary with the lesson notes. So if you want to learn the language faster, understand native conversations, and review the lesson content with a quick glance, then take advantage of the lesson notes, which you'll find in every lesson inside of our learning program. But if you don't yet have access, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to sign up. Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.